Selamat Pagi and good morning. This is Jackson Wehrli with my fourth installment of the Selamat Pagi podcast. If you have not listened to the previous podcasts, you can check them out on my YouTube channel or on my Facebook, which is probably where you are listening to this now. Last week we talked about how I did not want to memorize Joseph Smith's First Vision account because I had heard it a million times, and I figured as a missionary, if I ever need to draw upon it, I can pull it up and read it. But my teacher said it was really important that I memorized it, and so she read it to me, and I kid you not, the Holy Spirit of God, in the most powerful way ever, just entered my body and just gave me this knowledge as if I had seen it myself. It was incredible. I can't even explain it, but I know, and I've known from that moment, that Joseph Smith actually saw God and Jesus Christ in what we now know as the sacred grove. I know that, and it was an absolutely incredible thing, and it makes me happy. It fills me with joy, and I want that for everyone. But with that newly found testimony, I was able to then uh, have really successful time at the MTC pretty much from that moment on. There was a week, and no, there was a night this week, 2 years ago, where I could not sleep. Now, in my dorm, there was 5 elders with me. There was Elder Springer and Elder Jackson. They were companions speaking Marshallese, and they were going to different missions. And my companions also spoke Marshallese, and that was Elder Keith and Elder Bryce, and then it was me. I was the only Malay speaker. And so in our dorm, we'd always say a dorm room prayer before going to bed, and we'd go to bed. And one of the elders, he liked to make noise all of the time. If he was not humming, then he was whistling or singing or tapping or drumming or making some kind of a noise. And at night, he was snoring. Not not like a little bit, like thunder. And there was a particular night where he was snoring and I could not sleep. And then two of the other elders started snoring as well, and they just had this triumphant symphony of just horrible pig sounds coming from the other side of the room. And I could not sleep. And then I noticed at night when the heater went on, through the vent, you could hear the heater had this really high pitched, like a dog whistle almost. Just this high pitched screeching sound. And it was so bad. I could not sleep. I would be able to fall asleep. I'd yell or I'd throw something at him and wake him up just enough for me to fall asleep. I'd fall asleep for about 5 minutes. I would dream about my ex-girlfriend, be really sad, and then I would wake up again because of their snoring. Anyway, I think this particular night I got maybe like an hour of sleep total. It was it was awful. I woke up and I had a stuffy nose and my throat hurt because I think I got a little bit sick because of the night. But anyway, I was I think the following week my mother sent me no, my father sent me some of his shooting earplugs. When he would go to the shooting range, he had these nice green earplugs, and I was able to use those the following week. But that's next week. Anyway, so I have since forgiven the elders in that dorm for keeping me up that night because it's a funny story. But man, at the time it was pretty tough. Um, but anyway, the next within the next week or so, um, me and Elder Bryce were in we were in the same room that we had played the piano that day um, when the dignitaries were there, the Ethiopian dignitaries, and we had been playing that jazz music. Well, this time we decided to play something a little bit more spiritual. And so what I did was I started to play on the piano, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
because that's one of my favorite Christmas songs. And I started to get kind of epic in my style of playing it. And Elder Bryce sat down next to me and, being the musical genius that he is, starts creating this awesome mashup with Carol of the Bells. And then we got done and we're like, wow, that was so cool. Let's try it again. And we filmed ourselves the second time. It wasn't nearly as good as the first time, but it was still pretty awesome. And so I'll include that in this next one. Elder Keith, he told us that us playing on the piano for a little bit, he didn't mind, but if we just spent too much time, he got bored just sitting there watching us. So we were respectful to that, and we didn't spend too much time. But I would actually like to include the video of me and Elder Bryce playing this mashup of "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen" um, and "Carol of the Bells." So I'm going to include that. If you're not on a desktop or a laptop, um, you can listen along, and it'll be good. So tell me what you think.